What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another video, and this is the picks against the spread. This will be our fourth week. Kidblue and I had a pretty good week last week. Kidblue goes 8-8, I go 10-6. You go 2-1 on the locks. I go 1-2. We'll go over the standings in a bit. This week a little more challenging. We got two teams on a bye, so a little, one less game to pick. I think next week there'll probably be 4 or 6 buys. The games will get less and less each week. But Kidblue, before we get started, how you doing, buddy? How you been?
I'm great, man. I'm happy that I'm actually went somewhat. I went 500 in the spreads pick so far, and that's a victory for me. Hopefully, I get positive next week. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man.
Yeah, and I hope you did your homework this week, Kidblues. We got some challenging games this week. Before we get started, let's go over the standings real quick. As I was saying, Kidblue last week goes 8-8. He gets to 21, 26, and 1 on the year. 5 games under 500 with a locks record of 3-5-1. He was 1-4-1. He had a nice 2-1 week last week. I am 22, 25-1, so I got a game up on him there, and I'm 5-4 on the locks, so a game and a half lead with the locks. And also, I want to give a quick shout out to Clocks. He always tells me that he does the picks along with us, and he's kicking our ass, by the way. I got to go ahead and put your put your yearly numbers in the chat, in the comments rather. And next week I'll be sure to put Clock's numbers up there with ours. I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. This, of course, is premiered, and we're in the chat with you right now, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. And we are going to start with the Thursday night game, one of our rivals. This is a good game. Going into the year, you would have said Thursday night. This is a dynamic game. And, the Eagles have been a little banged up. Last week, Goddard gets hurt. Alshon Jeffrey gets hurt. Deshaun Jackson gets hurt. The Water Boy gets hurt. The whole team gets hurt. now they're going to Lambeau Field. They're taking on the Green Bay Packers, right? And I did hear Jeffrey and Goddard should play in this game. We'll have to wait and see. It sounds like Deshaun will be out. Packers have been on fire. 3-0. They played some good teams. What's your thoughts on this contest?
Well, Philly's not in a good spot because they faced another NFC North opponent last week at home and still got beat. Green Bay is just the Lions 2.0. I mean, way better defense, way better offense. The defense has really been picking it up. It seems like Aaron Rodgers is much more relaxed now. Like, he doesn't seem like he needs to put up the points like other years. It seems like he doesn't. What are they scoring per game? Like just around 20 points a game or something.
Well, they
like
had 10 against the Bears.
Yeah,
I don't think they lit it up. I know that last week was their most points. They had 27.
Yeah, so they're not scoring too much points a game. They don't need to. That defense is really putting in the work. Philly is really banged up. I thought they would win last week. It shows that they are really banged up, and they're going into Lambeau Field. This is a whole new monster here they're facing in Green Bay. Not the Green Bay Packers we used to know with that great defense. So I'm going to have Green Bay winning this game and obviously covering the spread 4.5 points.
Yeah, I love Green Bay this year. I'm not shy to say it. Got them going to the Super Bowl. They got off to a nice 3-0 start. I'm happy about that. And they've played. The scariest thing about this team, the offense isn't clicking yet. And granted, they've gone against some very good defenses, the Bears, the Vikings, right? The Broncos even are on a horrible defense. And they've found ways to win games, and they've covered the spread every step of the way. They were an underdog week 1 against the Bears. They win 10-3. I think they were an underdog. No, maybe they were slightly favored. I don't remember against the Vikings. Either way, they covered the spread. Last week, they were a 7-point favorite. They covered the spread. So they're beating the spreads. They're beating teams by more than what most people think they will. This team is legit. This defense is for real. Achilles Smith, Preston Smith, 7.5 sacks combined in the first 3 games. They're 2 free agent acquisitions. They've created 8 turnovers, 4 interceptions, 4 fumble recoveries in 3 games. This is a different team. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers, he's not even killing it yet. And he's gonna. He's
going to go off.
Yeah. And he's only got 5 touchdowns so far. He's got about 650 yards passing. He's been efficient. I don't think he's turned the ball over. But this team is scary. This team is scary. And once they start really hitting on both cylinders, they could be a runaway freight train this year. We're going to have to wait and see. But I love them on Thursday night. Not to mention, Thursday night, usually the home team has a huge advantage. So I just love the Packers on short rest at home on Thursday night. 4.5 points. They win by at least 7.
By the way, I hope I get this one right. I'm 0-3 in Thursday night games this year, so yeah, I can't get these
Eagles. I hate the Eagles.
I know I can't pick these damn Thursday games, but this one, Chris, should be right.
I'm pretty confident in this one. Let's get to our next matchup here. We got the Carolina Panthers on the road going to Houston. The Panthers had a really nice game last week, a game in which we didn't expect them to win. Third-string quarterback Kyle Allen. Everybody thinks Will Greer would play if Cam Newton's out. He goes in there, 4 touchdowns, plays great. Houston coming up a nice win in their own right against the Chargers. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, first off, I want to give credit to Kyle Allen, the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. I thought it was a terrible idea for them to start him and not start Will Grier, even though Will Grier, suffered in the preseason. I thought it was a terrible idea, but he wound up lighting it up, 4 touchdowns against Arizona, which it's Arizona, but still, I'll still give credit where credit's due. It's Arizona, but Houston is not Arizona. Houston's one of the best teams in the NFL right now. Carolina doesn't know who they are right now. Okay, they're just going by week, just moving along, and Houston's gonna run them over. Carolina's coming to Houston, and I don't see this as a fair game whatsoever. 4 points is not enough. Vegas is giving them way too much. The Carolina Panthers way too much credit for that win against Arizona, only favoring Houston by 4. I think it's gonna be a blowout. So I'm gonna take Houston here with the points.
Yeah, I'm looking at this spread, and usually when a spread doesn't make sense to me, I pick the team that I wouldn't normally pick. Because I'm like, why is it like,
Yeah, they know something we don't.
Yeah, but in this game, I mean, what the old adage is, usually they give the home team 3 points. So what Vegas is telling me in this game, they think on a neutral field, Houston's 1 point better than Carolina? That makes no sense to me. Carolina, I'll give them credit. They played the Rams tough week 1, right? And week 2, they lose to the Bucs at home, though. And last week, they beat the Cardinals. Who cares? Now you're playing a legit team, a team that just went and beat the Chargers, a very good football team. They're at home. I don't get the spread. Houston covers this easily. I think they get after that quarterback with the pass rushers they got over there, and they make him make some mistakes. And Deshaun Watson has been lighting up the scoreboard. This guy's an MVP candidate. Carolina ain't stopping him. This ain't the Carolina defense from 3 or 4 years ago. It's just not.
That's
and,
not.
And I think Houston's going to win that game. I think they're going to win it handily. And, yeah, I got Houston to cover that spread.
Yeah, for sure.
Next game up, divisional matchup. Browns, Ravens, in Baltimore. Browns coming in at 1-2 with their only win coming against the lowly Jets. The Ravens 2-1 with a loss last week to the Kansas City Chiefs. If you're going to lose to somebody, that's probably the right team to do it.
Yeah.
Ravens favored by 5. What's your thoughts?
I'll be honest. Lamar Jackson, again, is just week by week just shoving it in my face that I'm terrible at. I was terrible on my take on him. But yeah, I'll give credit, man. Baltimore's looking good right now. I thought the defense would take a little step back. They take a little step back, but they're still doing very well. But Cleveland, Sunday Night Football, Cleveland against the Los Angeles Rams, stuck it in there. They could have probably tied up that game had it not been Baker Mayfield now running for that touchdown, that score. But I don't know what it is. I think Cleveland is going to stick in this game just because of the AFC North familiarity there, the AFC North rivalry. I think they're going to stick in there, not win the game, but I think they're going to cover the 5 points, but not win the game. I'm going to say Cleveland with the points here. I don't know why. I'm not confident in it. Baltimore could easily run away with it, but I don't know why. I just feel like one of those games to me.
I'll tell you, I'm confident. I'm confident in this game. I've been saying Cleveland's paper champion since the beginning of the year. I still believe that. I don't think they're acclimated to Freddie Kitchens' offense yet. They look like lost souls out there, lost puppy dogs, as I always like to say. Baker Mayfield's got 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
He stinks.
He sucks. He's a bitch. You watch him throw the football, half his throws are sailing. Rex Ryan was completely right on what he said. I'm sorry. He does not look that good right now. Maybe they'll get better, but I don't think they're ready yet. And I think that Zeitler trade to the Giants hurt them. I don't think they took that into account. They had a very good offensive line last year. People are getting after Baker now. Now you're starting to see when you don't have such a good offensive line, I don't care that you had Odell Beckham. If you can't block, at the end of the day, you're going to have trouble winning a lot of football games, and that's what's happening over there. And the Ravens have a very good defense. Yes, they lost a couple of pieces. They still have a very good defense. And I think they're going to win this game pretty easily. I like the Ravens at home. I don't respect the Browns. I think they're a 7-win team this year. I don't think they're any better than last year. Paper champions. I don't believe it.
They're garbage.
All right. Next game up, we've got, oh, God, here we go. Washington Redskins at the New York Football Giants last week. Danny Dimes, what is going on? Giants favored by 3 at home. They look to get to 500 against a team that hasn't won yet in the Washington Redskins. What's your thoughts?
All I got to say here is Danny Dimes and Danny Drives. Danny freaking Jones. I'll be honest here. When I made that rant video about the defense and all that stuff, and I was like, well, Daniel Jones comes in there. How is he supposed to, still keep up with the defense doing so poorly? But the defense, to my credit, the defense performed better. So if they still perform the same way they did the past 2 weeks, I mean, I don't know if Daniel Jones comes out of that game victorious. But the defense stepped up. They performed a lot better. The pass rush really got there. They blitzed a lot. Yeah, and they were very effective on the blitzes. With the linebackers blitzed, and for the most part, besides Janoris Jenkins, for the most part, they were able to work out the blitzes and things like that. The secondary was able to work it out. With Washington, I think this should be an easy game for the Giants. Now, I'm still worried about the defense just a little bit, but I am very, very optimistic about our edge rush and our pass rush in general. I think it's going to dominate that offensive line. They're without Trent Williams. Morgan Moses is a little banged up. Eric Flowers is there. That's all I have to say there. So I think the Giants are going to have a field day as far as pass rush goes. Now, I guess the debate is Dwayne Haskins going to come in this game, and that's still left to be said. I don't know if Case Keenum is just listed as a starter. I don't know if they came out and just said, hey, Case Keenum is our quarterback. But either way,
like an hour before we went live to your defense, I didn't even know. I made my preview video already, and I didn't know Keenum's in a walking boot. He might not play this game.
Wow.
Keenum's in a walking boot, but they said that McCoy might play instead of Haskins.
That's the – oh, man. Oh, wow. Okay, so the long-time backup quarterback, Washington.
So we'll have to wait and see. They haven't announced anything yet. But either way, I don't care who's playing quarterback. So you're taking the Giants, it sounds like?
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the Giants -3. It's going to be one of my locks as well.
Really? You're that confident?
Yeah. All right. Washington stinks. There's no way Washington's going to beat us, man.
As a Giants fan, now to your defense about the defense, there is no way you could ask Daniel Jones to go out there every week and do what he did, right? So if the defense doesn't improve, we're not going to win a lot of games. Period. End of story. Now, I completely agree with what you said, though. They made a great adjustment there in that second half. The defense got after the quarterback. They sent exotic blitzes. They caused disruption. No doubt about it. Daniel Jones, what more to say? I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better debut. I still worry about Saquon Barkley being out. All right, he's our best weapon. And I think that the defense on Washington will make adjustments. I don't think they're going to send the house like Tampa did with 8 guys in the box. I think they'll use more protection in the passing game with Barkley out and Gallman as the running back. I think this game's going to come down to Gallman on the offensive side. I think Gallman has to be efficient, and the offensive line has to do a better job blocking. They did not do a good job last game. They gave up 5 sacks. They couldn't run the football. Bad. Daniel Jones won that game by himself, and he needs better support in this game. All that being said, I do like the Giants in this game. I think the Giants will win, but I don't take anybody for granted, especially a divisional opponent. This Giants team is not good enough to take anybody for granted. They couldn't take my high school team for granted. So, so the Giants, I think they're gonna win, and I think they'll win by about 6 or 7 points. I do think the Giants cover the spread, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's closer than that. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do like the Giants in this game, and I cannot wait. I want to touch on this real quick to see Evan Ingram light Landon Collins up like a Christmas tree.
Yes,
can't wait to see that.
I'm so disappointed that Saquon can't play. Because we're facing the Reds. I wanted Saquon to run right over Landon Collins. Oh, my God. I was waiting for that all offseason, and now we can't see it until the end of the year. But it's whatever, man.
But we're going to see Ingram go for 300 yards.
Oh, yeah.
So you got that game. You got that to look forward to. Next game up, smallest spread of the day. The Miami Dolphins it's usually a very close spread when they're playing. The Chargers going to Miami on the road are favored by 16. Now, the Chargers are 1-2. They need this game. Miami's 0-3. They want to go 0-16 at this point. But what's your thoughts on this game? Do you think the Chargers could cover that 16 points?
I'll be honest. Call me crazy. I don't know if you have this as well, but I have Miami actually covering the spread here. I like Los Angeles. I think they're going to win pretty handily. Don't get me wrong. There still will be somewhat of a blowout type game, maybe 2 scores, but I don't think it's going to be anything over 16 points. Los Angeles. Like you said, Melvin Gordon, he's back, but may not even play this game. And Los Angeles hasn't been blowing anybody out. I believe. I mean, they lost to the Detroit Lions, right? They lost to the Detroit Lions 13-10. They only scored 10 offensive points. They lost to Houston at home. I believe that was at home, and by 7. They only scored 20 points. So they're not. Their offense isn't really elevated there to really just blow out teams. I don't think it's there. But I think Miami is still going to lose this game by 2 touchdowns. But I think Miami will cover that spread just narrowly. They're going to cover the spread, but I have Los Angeles winning the game.
I agree with a lot of things you said. And I think the spread is a tough one because I think it's going to be right around that 16. I could see the Chargers win by about 17. I could see them win by 20, but I could also see them win by 13 or 14. I think that is a tough number this week. I really do. Just for argument's sake, I'm going to take the opposite approach, but I could see it either way. I'm going to say the Chargers went narrowly, get by 17 points, just because I don't think the Dolphins will put up a lot of points. I could see something like a 27-7 type final, something like that, 27-10, Miami's so bad. They are so bad. They are so
they're bad, man.
But the Chargers need to start building some momentum. I still think they're a good football team. They've gotten off to a slow start. They could easily be 0-3. They went to overtime against the Colts at home.
Yep, and they just narrowly beat them.
Yeah, they could easily be 0-3. So this is obviously they're going to win the game. But this is a game, if I'm a Chargers fan, I don't want to just win. I want to start building some confidence. I want to go out there and I want to smack the hell out of this team, beat them from start to finish, and I could see the Chargers pouring it on to grow some confidence. Because Miami is that bad. We'll have to wait and see. Miami's just so bad, though. It's hard for me. I don't care if the spread's 100. I almost don't want to pick them. So, but I get your point here, though. It is a big spread, but and it's on the road. And the Chargers haven't been playing that good. But the Dolphins are, come on. So I'm going to go Chargers narrowly. Next game up, we've got the Oakland Raiders going to the Indianapolis Colts. I picked the Colts last week. I'm proud of that. A lot of people didn't think they were going to win that game. Colts favored by 6.5 against the Raiders at home. Who do you like?
First off, boy, I'm really proud of Indianapolis, man. I'm really proud of them that they were able to stick up with Jacoby Brissett. 2 years ago they were starting Jacoby Brissett and they were terrible.
Right.
They couldn't find a way to win with him, and now they were prepared for Andrew Luck. And I said this every week that I'm on with you. I'm happy that they're actually finding a way to win without Jacoby Brissett, and so I'm gonna take this.
You mean without Andrew Luck?
Oh, yeah, without Andrew Luck. Yeah. They have Jacoby Brissett. Without Andrew Luck. But, I mean, Jacoby Brissett's a starting quarterback now. That's what he is now. So I'm not going to look at the Colts as another team with a backup quarterback. No, Jacoby Brissett's a starter. So, without a doubt, I have Oakland losing this game on the road. I think Indianapolis is going to easily cover the spread. Indianapolis' defense is also very good. So I'm going to have this being an easy win for Indianapolis. Marlon Mack is I think he's top 3 in rushing this year so far. Marlon Mack is killing it. So, Indianapolis for sure. 6.5 points. Give me 10-11 with this.
Colts have done a great job of reestablishing their identity. I talked about that last week. When Andrew Luck went down, I still thought they could be a good football team for the simple reason because of that offensive line. Mm-hmm. They've been able to do that. Like you just said, Marlon Mack, top 3 in rushing. Why is he top 3 in rushing? Because he's got guys like Quentin Nelson to run behind. And they've got a strong foundation there. The defense is underrated. They could have beaten the Chargers on the road, and they've beaten some good teams since then. They beat the Falcons last week. They've beaten some good teams. The Colts are a legitimate football team. They are in contention in that AFC South, and if they don't get it, they're in contention for a wild card. This is a good – they're not a pushover. Let's put it that way. 6.5 is a pretty big number, but the Raiders suck. They suck.
Garbage.
They suck. And they're going on the road. They looked good the first week, but it was against the Broncos. I could see the Raiders covering this. Just for the simple reason I could see the Colts playing it tight to the vest. Maybe the Raiders get a backdoor cover, something like that, like a 2014 type game. But I'm taking all favorites so far. I don't like doing that. But I do like the Colts to cover the spread by about 10, like you said. I just think they're a much better football team, and they're at home. I love the way they're playing, and I think they keep the momentum going.
Quick little nugget there for Oakland. They don't have another home game until November, so they're going to get beat up on the road the next couple of weeks. It's going to be tough to see. It's going to be interesting to see if they can handle the adversity there. But, yeah.
Interesting stuff. Next game we got up, the Kansas City, 2 unbeaten. The Kansas City Chiefs coming in at 3-0, facing the Detroit Lions at 2-0-1. The Chiefs are a 6.5 point favorite on the road in Detroit. Now, Detroit at home has beaten some pretty good teams. Mm-hmm. Right? They beat the Chargers. They beat the Eagles.
The Chargers.
I think they went to
they were on the road.
But either way, the Chargers, they were at home. And now they're playing the Chiefs. Great team. Do you think they could cover this spread? Do you think the Lions could keep it close against the Chiefs, or do you think the Chiefs run them out of the building?
This game's tough for me because I like Detroit. And I think I'm happy they're undefeated right now because I was a believer in Detroit from the beginning of the season. I thought they were a lot better on defense, and I guess that was a missing piece in Matt Stafford's performing. So as far as Kansas City goes, damn it, freaking Baltimore covered the spread. I had Kansas City in a lock. I didn't want to go against Kansas City, but I have to choose Kansas City again. I mean, Detroit's defense is great, but Kansas City is just too good. I think this is going to be a little closer than people think. I don't think it's going to be any blowout like Kansas City's facing Oakland or anything. I don't think Detroit Lions at home is anything to just, look past. I think Detroit will stay in this game. This could be like a 30-21 type game, but I'm still going to have Kansas City covering the spread. I like what Detroit's doing. I like what Kansas City's doing, so I think it will be closer than people think.
Mahomes is an animal. The guy's got 1,200 yards passing. I think 1,195 in his first 3 games, and he's doing it with nobody. Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins got over 300 yards receiving. Sammy Watkins
and Demarcus Robinson. Demarcus Robinson is his. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He's the best quarterback in football right now, and I love Aaron Rodgers. I've been saying he is. I got to go Mahomes right now the way he's playing. He's up pace to win back-to-back MVPs. He's been phenomenal.
Yep.
Detroit Lions have been good, though. This is a real football team. This is a team that is going to contend in the North this year, I think. They're not a pushover, like a lot of people thought. They got a great front seven there on the defensive end. The offense hasn't clicked yet. They only have about 64, 65 points so far this year combined, which is about 20 points a game, 21 points a game. But the Chiefs' defense isn't that good. So I think the Lions at home could put up some points. I think they'll be able to put up some points. They're not going to be able to go toe-for-toe for them, but I'm taking the Lions. I'm taking the Lions to lose close here. I respect the Lions. I'm going to go something like 30-24, 30-27. I think the Lions lose a close game here at home because I believe in them. I think they're a real team. I think the Chiefs keep the momentum going. They get the 4-0. They continue to put up points, but I could see the Lions getting something like a backdoor cover like the Ravens did last week. But I like the Chiefs to win the game.
Yeah.
Next game up, divisional matchup. 2 3-0 teams, and who would have thought? The New England Patriots, we would have thought them, but the Buffalo Bills, a team I like going in. I didn't think they'd be 3-0, though. They are home. The Patriots favored by 7 on the road. Patriots so far, obviously, they've looked phenomenal. But they haven't played any real teams yet, right? They beat the Jets, they beat the Dolphins, and the Steelers. But the Steelers, look how they've looked.
Yeah, terrible.
So what's your thoughts on this game?
I still like New England in this game. I feel like Buffalo is probably going to score more points than New England has ever given up in the past 3 weeks, but that's not saying much. They haven't given up too many points.
They've given up 17 points.
They gave up 17 points?
In 3 games combined.
I have the Buffalo Bills scoring about 13, maybe 13-10, 13, somewhere around that points. But I still have New England running away with this game. I think Buffalo can't really do much to contend. They haven't done too much of that in the past either against New England. 7 is a little bit of an easy spread. Don't really know why it's that close. I know New England is killing it right now, and Buffalo, barely won to the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm going to have New England running away with this game. I'm going to take them with the points.
Yeah, I like Buffalo a lot this year. I've said that from the beginning of the year. I thought that they'd be a wild card team. I still think that. Off to a nice 3-0 start. But look who they've beat. First up, they should have lost to the Jets week 1. They trailed by 16 points. They turned the ball over 4 times. The Giants, they played good, right? The Giants' defense was awful, but they played good. They have a real defense. Then the Bengals. They were a lock for me last week because I'm like, the Bengals suck. Bills are playing good. They're at home. And they beat them, but they barely beat them. I think they're getting too much credit here because of their record. I agree. It's at home. It's a divisional game. But New England is for real. Like what I said, they've given up 17 points. 7 of those points were on a pick 6 from the backup quarterback when he came in for Tom Brady last week. So the defense is only giving up 10. And everybody's talking about,
that's true. Yeah.
And everybody's talking about, the offense, which is lighting the league on fire. They got like 120 points, right? They scored like 50 against the Dolphins. They killed the Jets. They've been killing everybody. Granted, bad teams. I don't care. This Patriots team this year is on a mission. They want to destroy everybody. It has 07 written all over it.
I know.
And
it seems like that, man.
And I think it's the same story here. I respect the Bills. I respect their defense. I think they have a good football team. They're not a great team. And they get their first test this week. I think New England smacks them in the mouth. Now, are they going to win by 30? No. I think maybe 14, 13, something like that. Maybe 30-17 type game, something like that. But I like New England to cover that spread and cover it fairly easily. I do like New England. I think Bill's getting a little too much credit.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Next game we got up. The Titans headed to Atlanta. Atlanta coming off a loss where a lot of people thought they were going to take down the Colts. Off a nice performance where they beat the Eagles the week before. They're at home here against the Titans team that's dropped their last 2. Who do you like in this one?
This game's a little tough for me, I'll be honest. It's hard for me to make up what these teams are. Really, both of these teams lost to the Indianapolis Colts pretty close. The scores were almost identical in those games, both of those teams against Indianapolis. This one's hard for me, man. I'll be honest with you. This one's hard for me. But Tennessee has a lot of offensive problems. Their defense is great. I think the defense is going to keep them in this game. It all depends on if their offense can score some points. Atlanta is good as well. They've won against some good teams like Philadelphia. But at home, I think just by default, I'm going to have to take Atlanta here. I'm not very confident in it, but I'm going to have to take Atlanta here. So I'm going to take them covering the spread, but it can easily go in Tennessee. Atlanta could easily win just by a field goal or even 2 points. But I'm going to take them covering it. I'm not confident, but I'm going to take them covering it.
Yeah, these two teams are tough to. They really are inconsistent teams. Both these teams.
Yeah, you don't know what to make of them. Are they 500 teams below?
No. Both coming at 1-2. Atlanta is a good team at home historically. They put up a lot of points at home. Matt Ryan puts up a lot of points. I respect the Titans' defense. They do have a good defense. We saw them shut down the Browns in Week 1. I think the Falcons are going to put up some points in this game, though, and I don't think the Titans will keep up. I don't like Mariota. Never have. I think he loses his job after this year. I do not like Mariota. Yes. I don't think he's a good quarterback at all. And I just don't see them sticking with the Falcons. I think the Falcons, Matt Ryan in the Dome, will put up points. They're going to put up at least 24 to 27 points. I don't see the Titans keeping up with that unless the Falcons turn the ball over, which they could. But in the Dome, on the fast turf, I think they have too much offensive firepower. The Falcons need this game. I still respect the Falcons. I still think they're a team that can compete for a wild card in the NFC. I don't see them winning that division, but I could see them competing in the NFC South for a wild card. And I just think they're a better team, especially at home. I like them covering that 4, not by much. Not a game I'd bet on.
Yeah,
but
stay away from this game.
I'll take the Falcons. Next game up, we've got the Bucs, fresh off a loss to our New York Giants, a game in which they should have won had their kicker kicked it straight from 34 yards. Unfortunately, he was gay, and he's going to be taking on he's going to be taking on the LA Rams. The Rams favored by 10 at home. Rams 3-0. They've looked fantastic. 10 points, pretty big spread though. What's your thoughts?
Man, how the hell is Tampa Bay going to keep up in this game? Going all the way to the West Coast, coming off of a very heartbreaking loss. Matt Gay couldn't hold it. Kick the extra points and the game-winning field goal. And they lost to the Giants, the Giants were having so many other problems right now. And the fact that they, allowed a 18-point comeback like that, I'm not confident in Tampa whatsoever going against the Rams, who have everything figured out. The Rams are just, they're like the Chiefs of the NFC. I mean, you can't bet against them. You can't bet against the Rams. I like them a lot. I'm going to have them covering the spread. I don't think it's going to be close either. I probably take them by 15, if anything, but I'm going to have Los Angeles covering the 10-point spread here, blowing out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Rams have looked great.
Yeah.
They just have.
The only thing I'll give credit Tampa to is their run defense. That's it.
Run defense was great last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're top 10 in run.
But Tampa Bay, they're versing a great defense on the road. Jameis Winston sucks. I don't care how good he looked against the New York Giants. Going into that game, he had 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's going to turn it over at least 2 times in this game. At least. And the Rams are going to get after him. Jared Goff will move the football. He's been mediocre so far. In LA, though, 10 points is a lot of points. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bucs lose by 7, 8, or 9, and they cover the spread. I don't think this is a slam dunk because 10 points is a lot of points. And the Bucs are another one of those teams, kind of like the Titans, where one week, they shocked me when they won in Carolina on Thursday night.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that at all. The defense played great in that game, but the Rams have a much better offense. They just do. I mean, they're the best team in the NFC right now, probably.
Yeah, they're great. They're fantastic.
And they're at home. Bucs coming off, like you said, you can't lose a game worse than that. Guy misses 2 extra points and a field goal from 34 yards out.
And a lot of 18-point comeback.
Yeah, and now you're versing the best team in the NFC, or one of. And, yeah, I think the Rams won by about 13. I'll take the Rams here. Final score, 30-17 Rams. Next game up, we've got the Seahawks on the road going to Arizona. Seahawks favored by 4.5. Seahawks coming off a loss. A game which most people thought they'd win. I called them a fake football team. They lost. And they are a fake football team in my opinion. But I want to get your thoughts on this game. 2-1 coming in versus the 0-2-1 is our Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I'll give you credit as well, man. I believe you had New Orleans covering that game and winning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I give you credit there. I didn't think that would be possible. I thought Seattle would bring life. I thought they would actually figure things out facing a good football team after looking, below average the past couple of weeks, losing to Pittsburgh. They just barely beat Pittsburgh, and they just barely beat Cincinnati. So with that being said, I can't see Seattle blowing this team out in no way possible. This is the NFC West matchup here. I'm going to have Seattle winning it. But I don't think Arizona's going to win. I don't think Seattle's going to blow them out either. I'm going to have Arizona covering the 4.5 point spread. I think it's going to be a field goal type game. Usually these teams face each other, and it's pretty close. For the past couple of years now, it's been pretty close, no matter how good these teams are. I'm going to have Arizona covering the spread, but Seattle winning the game just narrowly. I think Seattle's trash, but just narrowly winning the game.
I don't believe in Seattle. I just don't. And I don't believe in Arizona. I hate these teams.
Yeah, these teams suck.
I picked Arizona last week, and they ripped my heart out. I picked against Seattle at home without Drew Brees. Again, look at what they've done. Home against the Bengals. Home against the Bengals.
The 12th man is dead. The 12th man is dead.
They beat the Bengals by 1 point home.
Yeah.
They beat the Steelers by 2 without Ben Roethlisberger, and they lose to the Saints at home against the Drew Brees-less New Orleans Saints. And the Saints are still a good team.
Yeah.
But they're going on the road now to Arizona. Arizona sucks.
They're garbage.
I'm picking Arizona to win this game outright. I don't believe in the Seattle football team. I don't believe in Arizona either. But I want to make a point how bad this team is. I don't believe in the Seattle team. They overachieved last year. I think Arizona at home finds a way to win this game by a point or two. And I definitely haven't covered this. It's not a lock for me because Seattle could definitely cover that spread. They definitely could. I'm going out on a limb here. This is kind of a just me trying to prove a point of how much I don't believe in Seattle this year. On the road, Arizona's at home. I'm taking Arizona to cover the points. I don't bet that money line. Don't do that. Don't do
it, guys. Don't do it.
I'm kind of going out on a limb, Kidblue, but I like Arizona in this game with getting 4.5 points. Seattle's a fake football team. I really believe that.
Yeah, for sure.
Next game, NFC North divisional rivalry. Great rivalry.
Oh my God, this is the game of the week for me.
Yeah,
honestly.
Minnesota Vikings going to Chicago. Both teams 2-1. Huge game. Bears got to find a way to win this game because they lost a home divisional game already.
Yep.
To the Green Bay Packers. Bears favored by 3. Vikings have looked pretty good so far this year. I think they're like plus 30 on the year. They're 2-1, but they've played well. What's your thoughts on this game?
I'll be honest here. A lot of people are going to go Chicago here, but I think I'm going to have to take Minnesota here. They're running the ball extremely well. Dalvin Cook, man, that guy is an absolute monster. He shreds every team. The Minnesota Vikings are running, I think, for an average of 193 yards per game. They're killing it right now running the ball. Chicago is not running the ball too well. I think they're middle of the pack. Don't quote me on that. I believe they're middle of the pack. Their defenses are still really good, but I think Minnesota is more consistent on offense, more balanced of a team, has a really good offense. I believe they're scoring 26 points a game. Chicago has some offensive problems. They really showed up on Monday night against Washington, but it's Washington. But other than that, Chicago has had some offensive woes as of late. Minnesota has been scoring points, so I'll give them credit. I think Minnesota could come out and win this game just because of how balanced they are, both on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Chicago can win this game as well, but I'm confident in Minnesota. I'm going to take them winning outright here, upsetting the Chicago Bears at home, and taking this game, yeah.
This is a tough one. Because Minnesota's a better football team. I said that at the start of the year. They're a better football team. They just are. But the Bears need this game so much. They need this game so much, and they're at home at Soldier Field. If they lose this game, they are in big trouble. That's 2 divisional losses, both at home, to the 2 teams you're going to be competing with to win the division. The Vikings are a better football team, though. They're better on offense, and they're close on defense. The Bears defense is great. They held Aaron Rodgers to 10 points. They kept that team in the game. Trubisky stinks.
Both these quarterbacks haven't gone over 600 yards yet.
Yeah, they're both bad. Yeah. Trubisky's just worse. I'm going to take the Bears. I want to pick the Vikings. I want to pick the Vikings. I have the Vikings finish in second division, Bears finish in third, but I got to have the Bears defending home field advantage. I think they split this year of the Bears losing when they go to Minnesota, and I'm going to have them winning by 4 points. I'm going to take the Bears here. I think they serve here as much as I don't want to do it. You know what? No, I'm taking the Vikings. I'm going with my initial thought process.
Come to the dark side,
because
Chris.
I was thinking about it, and I said they only beat the Broncos by 2, and that was in Denver, wasn't it? Was that in Denver?
Yeah, it was in Denver. Yeah.
All right, I'll take the Bears. I'm going flip-flopping too much. I'm gonna take the Bears. I'm gonna take the Bears at home. They really need this game. They really need this game. I'll go. This is so close. Either way, I'll go Bears by 4. Don't bet this game. Don't bet this game. What?
Final answer.
Bears by 4. Bears cover the spread.
All right.
Next game, we've got the Jaguars going on the road to the aforementioned Denver Broncos. The Jaguars looked good last week. Gardner Minshew's been a godsend for them. I mean, the way he's played, nobody expected that. Denver, they don't have a sack yet this year. They're at home. They usually play better at home. Like I just said, that I think they only lost by 2 to the Bears. They are a 3-point favorite against Minshew and the Jaguars. What's your thoughts on this one?
Man, Gardner Minshew is definitely a godsend, as you said. The power of the stash, definitely Gardner Minshew and his stash. I don't know why Denver's favored here by 3. I know they play a lot better at home. They held out against the Bears and they play a lot better as it is. But Jacksonville had a very good win against Tennessee. A good defense in Tennessee. Defense is a lot better than Denver. In my opinion. Now Denver can hold the Jacksonville Jaguars to a little bit amount of points, but they can't get to the quarterback, man. Bradley Chubb, Von Miller do not have a sack yet. That's crazy. Their secondary is ridiculous. Their secondary sucks. That Isaac Yiadom guy is like another Eli Apple. The guy's bad. So I can see Jacksonville winning this game. I'm going to take them winning this game outright and covering the points. I have to have Jacksonville winning this game. Denver's 0-3. There's no way I can see Denver winning this game. Jacksonville's defense is too strong. It's too strong. Jacksonville's defense is too strong. I don't think they're going to be able to compete too well. I'm going to have Jacksonville winning this game, like a 23-13 type game.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes,
you
sir.
sounded confident with that pick.
I hate Denver. Sucks.
I like the Jaguars in this game. Not as confident as you. I could see Denver winning the game because they're at home, but I like especially getting 3. The Jaguars are a better football team. They have a great defense over there. They do. They have a good defense. Josh Allen they had 9 sacks last game. 9 sacks against the Tennessee. Where is the respect for this defense?
Nobody cares. I don't know what it is.
Jacksonville had 9 more sacks last game than the Broncos have had all year.
I know.
And Minshew's played well. Granted, I get the Broncos play better at home. But I like the Jaguars. Like you, I don't know if they're going to win by as much as you said, but I like the Jaguars on the road to actually win this game outright. And if there was a game on the schedule this week that I'm taking a team to win money line, it would be this one. I like the Jaguars on the road to win by about 2 or 3 points in Denver. I think the Jaguars get the 2-2, and I think they have a chance, like I said about the Colts, to compete in that AFC South division. So we'll have to wait and see. But big game this week for the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Next game up. Oh, baby. I've been waiting to get your take on this one. The 3-0 Dallas Cowboys. They've beaten up on the trash of the league. Going to New Orleans. New Orleans coming off a win in Seattle without Drew Brees. They still don't have Drew Brees. Dallas has looked great with that new offense. Everybody's buying in. Everybody thinks they're the second coming of whatever. They think they're phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But let's look. Let me get your take on this game first. 2.5. Cowboys.
First of all, I struggled with this game, man. I did because I don't really believe in Dallas as a lot of people do. I think they're a good football team. Don't get me wrong. I still think they're going to run away with this division. I think they're that good. But New Orleans really found a way quickly, very quickly, to win with Teddy Bridgewater. And Teddy Bridgewater looks like he got very accustomed to that offense. Looks like it doesn't really matter that Drew Brees really left. I think they're winning games. And Seattle isn't great, and this is a tougher task against Dallas. But look at if the Giants really in Week 1 against Dallas, if the Giants really game planned better and ran better plays offensively, they could have been in that game. I mean, the Giants were moving the ball down the field when they ran the right plays.
Almost had 500 yards of offense.
Exactly. So I don't believe in the Dallas defense as much as a lot of people do. And at home, New Orleans is at home. I have to take New Orleans here, man. I think New Orleans can get it done here. So I have them. I believe Dallas is favored in this game, right? So yeah. So I'm going to take New Orleans winning outright here. And man, I think this is Dallas's first real team that they're facing. They faced Miami, they faced the Giants in Week 1 where they really couldn't get anything figured out, and they faced Washington as well, who is also 0-3. The combined record of the teams they face is 1-8 right now. So they haven't done anything right now to really tell me that they're going to win against New Orleans, and New Orleans is figuring things out. Teddy Bridgewater used to be a starter. He's looking like a starter now. I'm going to take New Orleans here.
Love it. I love it. Great analysis. New Orleans is at home. Teddy Bridgewater. End of the day, Drew Brees is phenomenal, right? But the last 2 years, look at what Drew Brees has done. He's become a glorified game manager. He has. Because the Saints have become a running football team. They've realized Brees is getting up there in age with Kamara, with Ingram when he was on the team. They ran the hell out of the ball. And the defense is so underrated. The Saints have a very good defense.
I love their defense.
And like you said, everybody's going goo-goo gaga about this Cowboys offense. They played the Giants. And the Giants couldn't stop us. They played the Redskins, who have a decent defense, and they played the Dolphins, The Dolphins, a team in which they were only up 10-6 at the half, and they should have been trailing. The Dolphins fumbled on the 6-yard line right before the half. They could have easily been down 13-10 at the half. So I don't believe in this. I believe in them as a very good team. I don't believe in them as a team that's going to go into New Orleans and win, even without Drew Brees. I don't care what the spread says. I don't believe in this Dallas team. I don't think they're an upper echelon team until they prove it to me. Last year they beat the Saints. This is a revenge game. That game was in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to New Orleans. This is a revenge game for the Saints, and I could see the Saints beating the Cowboys in a very similar manner to which the Cowboys beat them last year. They beat them with defense. It was a low-scoring game. The Saints were coming to that game high-flying. They were beating everybody they played. The Cowboys brought them back to reality. I think the Saints do the same thing to the Cowboys this year in New Orleans. Week number 4, Cowboys get their first loss. Book it. Saints win. I love it. I love that pick. I'm not going to make it my lock, though, but I love it. All right.
Looking forward to that game, man.
And then finally, the worst Monday night game in the history of Monday Night Football.
Oh, God.
Can we change this game? I mean, prime time.
I know. Can we flex it, please? Jesus.
God almighty. A combined 0-6 record. The Cincinnati Trash Bags versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are favored by 4. Do you want to pick this game?
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Why can't this game be flexed? I mean, why can't... I mean, I don't know. They don't flex games early on in the season, but anybody, any other team, I would rather see New England just destroy Buffalo on Monday night then. I'd rather see that. But Monday Night Football, these teams both combined for a total of 0 wins and 6 losses, both 0-3. This is the toilet bowl game of the year so far. And Cincinnati has been holding in games, man. They still suck, but they've been holding in games. I tried to believe in them early on in the season. They proved me wrong. Pittsburgh has a lot of problems, man. They have tons of problems. They need a whole culture shift over there. Now, Minka Fitzpatrick did perform well in his first game as a Pittsburgh Steeler. I'll give him credit there. But AFC North matchup, I'm gonna take it to be a close game. I think Pittsburgh comes out to win. I think Cincinnati covers the points. Pittsburgh gets their first win, but it's not gonna be very impressive. This Monday night game is gonna suck. It's gonna suck. But I'm gonna take Cincinnati with the points and Pittsburgh to win.
Everything in my brain is telling me pick the Bengals. Pick the Bengals. Pick the Bengals. Pick the Bengals. They lost by 1 in Seattle. They played pretty close to the Bills last week. I think they lost by 3 or 4.
4.
Steelers have been awful. Pick the Bengals, Chris. I'm going to pick the Steelers. I don't know why. I'm going to pick
4? Oh, wow.
I'm going to pick the Steelers. Everything's in my brain's telling me pick the Bengals. I just think that the Steelers are they're too good of an organization. They're too well coached. They're going to find a way to game plan against this awful team at home. They're going to find a way with Rudolph and all the crap they got on over there. Their crap's better than the Bengals crap. And they're at home. I just think they get it together this week. And they have a somewhat impressive win. I'll say they win by a touchdown or 10 points. The Bengals are so bad, and the Steelers are so bad. But the Steelers are at home, and I like to crap on the Bengals whenever I can. I think that last year I called it all year. I said they were a fake 5-6 win football team, and I think they're a fake 0-3 football team. I think they're worse than that. And I think that I think that the Steelers will cover at home, and that will be my final pick. And now we're gonna go over the locks. I'll let you start with your first lock of the week.
Alrighty, let's see which one. Okay, I'll start off easy here. I'll have my first lockout of the week. Los Angeles on that 10-point spread there. I like Los Angeles in a blowout. Like I said, Tampa Bay suffered a heartbreaker at home, and now they're going to the West Coast to face one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the best team in the NFC. Have to have Los Angeles with my first lock.
He's got the Rams. I'm going to go my most confident pick of the week. I'm going the Texans. Home against the Carolina Panthers. Third-string quarterback. I don't care how good he looked last week. You're going up against a real team this week on the road. I don't understand that spread. I love Houston. Given 4 at home in week 4.
All right, and my second lock, I'm going to have the Giants covering the spread and winning the game by 3. Listen, I think Daniel Jones has a new element to this offense, and I think it's for the most part motivated the defense. I think they're actually motivated to play now. Besides Janoris Jenkins, we'll figure out what he's going to do in this game. They got a game plan against Terry McLaurin. Don't know who they're going to throw out there, but he's going to be a problem speedster. But I'm going to have the Giants winning this game by 3 points. I think they could win this game by 10 points. I think Washington is that bad. I hate Washington. They're really bad, and so I'm going to have them as my second lock.
I like the pick. I just don't want to pick him. I don't want to jinx him. But I do like the pick. My next lock, I'm gonna go with the Patriots. Even though it's on the road, even though I think the Bills are a good football team, and 7 points, I think they're gonna cover that pretty easily. I'm gonna go with New England. They've been blowing teams out, albeit not great teams. Mm-hmm. I think the Bills are getting a little too much credit with that 3-0 start, beating the teams they have. I'll go with the Patriots as my second lock. Yeah.
All right. I was gonna go there, but I want to get a little risky, Chris. I wanted to prove my point just a little bit. I don't know how Denver is favored in this game. I think Jacksonville is much better of a football team, even with Gardner Minshew there. I think he's performing pretty well. Jacksonville's defense is fantastic. How the hell is Joe Flacco going to score on Jacksonville's defense? I have no clue. And DJ Chark is really showing out as a receiver for Jacksonville, and they're getting things going on both sides of the football. I like Jacksonville a lot to win outright and upset the Denver Broncos. I'm actually going to lock them here as my third lock.
It's a good pick. Good pick. I'm going to go with the Colts. I'm going to go with the Colts. I like the Colts a lot this year. Mm-hmm. I like what they've done. I like the identity that they've established. I think they've covered every spread this year, if I'm not mistaken. I think they covered against the Chargers. Maybe no, they didn't cover against the Chargers, but it went to overtime. So in regulation they covered it tied, and then they lost in overtime. But I like the Colts in this game. I really do. I think they're going to cover that 6.5. Outside of Week 1, the Raiders have looked lost. They suck. The Colts, they're not sexy. They're not this high flying team. Yeah. But they have an identity. They know what they're good at, and they're going to continue to be good at it against a horrible defense in Oakland. I like them covering that spread. So real quick, my 3 locks, and then you're going to go over yours briefly. I've got the Colts -6.5. I've got the Patriots -7, and I've got the Texans -4.
All right, and my 3 locks are: I've got Los Angeles -10. I've got Jacksonville +3, and I have the Giants -3.
So there's our 3 locks. Best of luck this week. Hopefully we can both get to 500. We celebrate that next week. We had an impressive week last week. 10-6. I was happy with that against the spread. Yeah. Hopefully we can build off of that. You 8-8. You're getting a little better. Yeah. You got to get up a little more. Maybe get 10 wins this week. We'll see. There's only 5 games this week. So 15 games rather. There's 1 game out. Mm-hmm. So we'll see where we get to 500. But as always, I want to thank you for coming on. Always love doing this. I'm looking forward to watching it with you in the premiere. And what time is it? 11:10. This should be live by about 11:45 to 11:40. Looking forward to seeing you in the room. And thank you for coming on. If you guys have not done so, and I'm going to be typing in the chat the whole time anyway. But if you guys have not done so, go on over and subscribe to Kidblue. He's got a great channel over there, the Giants channel. Thank you again for coming on. Thank you for being such a good sport.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.